Well, hello, and how are you doing this evening? I am. I'm doing good. I'm on vacation, so my headspace is different than it normally would be. Now, that being said, it doesn't mean I'm still not, completely without issues. I um, I had a horrible anxiety attack yesterday. It was I don't know where it came from. Hey, Mikhail. Hey, Stephen, how you doing? I don't know where it came from. I woke up, well, 6 a.m. I was staying with my partner. Bridget's her place, and she had volunteered to help out with a 5K run. So she needed to be, meeting up with the team at 7 a.m. So I set an alarm for 6. She got up and she's like, "Why am I doing this?" I'm like, "Because you're passionate and you want to help out your community." She's like, "Yeah." I don't think I actually said that, but I probably did think it anyway. um, so she went out and helped out the community, and she texted me and said, "I'll be here at this time. Can you come and meet me?" I'm like, "Absolutely, I'd love to." So I went out and met her for the 5K while she was doing security and blocking traffic and making sure that nobody in the run got harmed. And it was lovely. It was a gorgeous Sunday, July morning, and the weather was hot. And I think I was dehydrated, possibly a combination of the day before and the night thereof. I didn't. I drank a lot of beer on Saturday. Not an excessive amount. I wasn't intoxicated. I couldn't drive, but there's a difference between being intoxicated and incapable of getting behind the wheel. And I do know the levels and the limits, and I observe them. Well, anyway, um, we took an Uber back to her place on Saturday evening, and then we had another beer. Well, I had a beer, and she had a cocktail, I think. We had some dinner, and we just relaxed and enjoyed each other's company and had a nice long conversation. Eventually went to bed. Nothing crazy. And I sweat excessively because I have a very high metabolism. And as a result, I think I woke up dehydrated. And because I didn't drink enough water the day before, I think, I woke up, I felt okay. I had coffee and took a Benadryl because allergies. And I went to the race. And the next thing you know, at the end of the race, a couple hours later, we're sitting at the finish line as they handed out, the awards for those who were just ran some great times. I looked at her and I went, I have to sit down. I'm not feeling right. She's like, you look off. And I was really dehydrated. And as a result, I was almost ready to pass out. So I sat for a few minutes. She brought me some water, and then we walked back to her place. Sorry, my computer's making noises. I apologize for that. Walked back to her place, and she fixed me some electrolyte drinks and gave me some food, and then held my hand as I tried to bring myself down from an anxiety attack, which I think was a result of a combination of dehydration and lack of sleep, amongst other emotional effects that one has at this time of year. If one is like me celebrating a birthday and is not able to do so with all the people you'd like to be able to do it with, because complications, life, things get in the way, and as a result, I think I had an overwhelming um, flood of emotions along with the dehydration, which I absolutely was dehydrated, and that's not pleasant. I don't know if you've ever been there. I hope you never experience it. It's really unpleasant. You uh, get squirrely and wonky and scronkly. It's a word that my lovely partner Bridget made up, scronkly. Um, I'll explain it in detail at some point in a future show, but for tonight, I'm just going to leave it at that. And I was scronkly, and I had a difficult time walking, thinking, talking, and then I had a major anxiety attack. And I was lying down, and I looked at her, and I said, "Yeah, I'm in the midst of a major anxiety attack right now." And she's like, "Oh my goodness, what can I do?" And I'm like, "There's nothing you can do. Just be here with me, and I will breathe my way through it," which I did. But it was brutal, my friends. It was unbelievably difficult. You know, I've had anxiety attacks before, and they're never pleasant, and they're worse than depressive episodes because your heart races, your mind races, and it's a horrible experience. But couple that with dehydration, and your head is pounding because when you're dehydrated, you get a severe headache. It's like a borderline migraine. In my case, it is a migraine, but everybody's different. And I was thinking to myself, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. It was difficult. It was very difficult, but thankfully I had my partner with me who was loving and took such great care of me. She brought me some food. She brought me electrolyte drinks and held my hand and just, was there with me, which is literally all anyone can do. I mean, just being there for somebody when you're going through that, that's all you can do, because you can't fix anything. You can't make it better. But if you're there, you hold their hand and you just be there, just be present. That, I think, is more than enough in many, many cases. At least it's what works for me. I mean, I can't tell you what will work for you. I can only suggest what works for me, and maybe you can apply that to your life. And I hope that what is working for me will help you. But yesterday was difficult. It was very difficult. And by the time I got home, I was feeling good. By the time I got home, I did. That's truthful. We called an Uber, and I got home and I felt energized. And I got in the house and I took a shower, and I thought, I'm going to lie down. I think I should lie down for a bit, because the energy is, it's like an adrenaline rush, and the body is vibrating. Like, I should probably lie down right now, because if I leave the house, if I go out and do something athletic, like get on my bike and go for a ride or something, it could be a catastrophic failure. And again, because I'm at a certain age, where I've experienced a fair bit of life, not an insane amount, but a fair bit of life, I recognized that I needed to spend time taking care of myself. So when I got home, I took a shower, I lied down on the couch, and I thought, yeah, I can feel the oncoming heartburn, acid indigestion, the terrible self-loathing that will be accompanied by all of that, along with the fact that not feeling good about oneself. Right now, my the thing that I was thankful for was knowing that, and you have to remind yourself of this, and this is important. You need to remind yourself that there are people in your life who love you, and would do anything for you. They would do anything. They would move mountains to make you feel safe and happy and comfortable. And they would do anything to try and change what you're experiencing. And that's when it's most important to try and remember and recall that. Because the thing is this, you're going to suffer. And it's going to suck. And I wish I could say something to you that would change it and make it better, but I can't. You're going to suffer. If you have depression, if you have anxiety, if you're bipolar, you're going to suffer. But I beg of you, try. Do your utmost to try and remember that there are people there who are in your corner, who are ready to pick you up when you fall, will do the utmost to support you. They'll hold your hand. They'll rub your back. They'll tell you the things that you need to hear when you need to hear them. And I hope, I guess I was projecting there a little bit. You know, I hope that you have people in your life like that. I would like to think that most of us do. I would like to think that most of us do have that. But I think it would be naive of me to think that we all do. That, my friends, is me. That's my white privilege, right? Knowing that I have people that will be there for me to support me. Knowing that the support structure is there for me. Knowing that I came from, my mom and dad are still married. I'm going to go way out here on this, so please bear with me if you can. I'm an incredibly lucky individual. I recognize the privilege that I have, and I need you to understand that the privilege that I have it doesn't mean that I will have a life that's any easier than anybody else's. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be rich. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be wealthy. It doesn't mean that I will have, the white picket fence and the 3.5 kids or whatever the current demographic dictates that should be what I should have. It just means that I have less obstacles in my pathway. Now, one of the things that's paramount and needs to be understood is that I have less obstacles, for sure. Mental health is an obstacle, but it's an obstacle that doesn't see race or color or religion or gender or sexuality. It doesn't see any of that. Like, everybody is affected by that. Every person on earth is equally affected by mental health issues. Whether you have them or don't, they don't see differences. But when you have no obstacles in front of you looking like this, it just makes it a little bit easier to manipulate your way. Manipulate? Maybe that's the wrong word. Mitigate? Manage? If you have support structures in front of you to get through the systems. Maybe I'm getting far too philosophical this evening. And you know that this channel is never about politics. It's not about politics or race or gender or religion. It's about people who are suffering from mental health issues and want to discuss it. And I don't have a proper voice tonight. I'm a little harsh and hoarse. And I apologize for that, but I'm always going to be 100% honest with you. Always. And the thing that I need everybody to understand is how important it is to reach out to those you love and care for, to make sure that they're okay. And it's Hmm. Bear with me for a second while I try and collect my thoughts on this one. But the world is better today when it comes to those of us who battle these demons. Those of us who have these uphill drills, if you will, on how we discuss what we're feeling when we're feeling it, and how we can talk about what we're going through when we go through it. It's better today than it's ever been, but it's still far from an equal playing field, if you will. I've lost friends and family members to depression and anxiety and bipolar disorder because they did not feel they had a place to discuss what they were going through. And there was a time, not that long ago, when I felt guilty. Guilty in the sense that I saw friends and family members who were suffering, and I knew what they were going through, but I didn't know how to discuss it with them. I didn't know how to approach. I didn't know how to say, hey, I recognize that you might be feeling this way. Would you like to talk about it? And I didn't approach them, and I've I had to say goodbye to them because they chose to take a different path, if you will. And that sucks, but through some therapy and meditation and self-reflection and some work, I've come to the realization that's not my fault. And because I felt guilty for a long time that I was not able to help people who were going through that. And when I came to the realization that they didn't have the tools or the assets or the place or the ability to recognize that they could discuss this openly like we are doing right here, right now, in this medium, that I should not feel guilty about it. And that took a lot of work. I mean, when a family member chooses to take that path, you have to come to grips with the fact that their suffering has ended. They didn't know how else to. They didn't know that they had. Let me rephrase that. Perhaps they didn't know that they had an outlet. Perhaps they didn't know they had somebody to talk to. Perhaps they didn't know that there was medication. Perhaps they didn't know there was therapy. Perhaps they didn't know a lot of things. I'm lucky. I will be a statistic, but a good one. I'll be the statistic that is still here. I will defeat the demon. I won't let it beat me. There will be times in my life when it will beat me down. It will beat me down. It will beat me down hard. And there will be times when I will have to lie on the canvas and just wave my hand and go, I need some more time. But I will not let it defeat me. And I hope that you out there, anyone, anywhere watching this, who is feeling the same feelings, the same emotions, that same terrible aspect of what depression and anxiety lies to you, I hope you feel you can reach out. I hope you have the strength, and it takes strength. We're not going to deny that. It takes strength. I hope you have the strength to just reach out. And here's the thing. Here's the reach out. Here's the reach out I need you to understand. This is very important. Your reach out is just show up and listen. You don't have to join the chat. You don't have to reach out to me. You don't have to contact me. You can if you want, of course. My channel's open. But if you make the effort to come here and listen and read what people in the chat talk about and how important that it is that we discuss what we're feeling and going through and the pain that we suffer through, If you can understand that you're not alone, and that was the thing that recognized or made me recognize that I can get through this. I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this. I'm not alone in suffering like this. And one of the things about depression and anxiety is you always feel alone. You always feel abandoned. No one loves you, no one cares, and you're a burden, and the world would be better off without you. But that's not the case. The world would not be better off without you. The world is better with you in it. And I need you to understand that when you come here to this channel, to this space, your religion, your ethnicity, your gender, your sexuality, none of that is important here. I recognize that it's important to you. I recognize that it is part of who you are. But in this space, I want you to come in here and feel safe to whether you choose to join the chat or whether you just want to listen to the words I speak. You're safe here. And I think if we can get more people to understand that there is a safe space where you can feel comfortable to just be who you are. And here's the best part. You can be completely anonymous. You can create a fake name. You don't have to show your face. You can just drop in, listen in, and take what you need from it. And if it helps you, well then, that's my purpose. All I want to do is help people and make the world a better place. And sometimes I can, and sometimes I can't. And when I can't, I'll tell you, I'm suffering. I'm not feeling good. But today I feel great. I'm on vacation. The weather's gorgeous. And I'm happy. And I hope you feel the same way too. And with that, my friends, I will bid you adieu. And I will see you next Monday. I will have a recorded, this is live, but for next Monday, we'll have some recorded content for you, as well as the following Monday, because I'm going to be on vacation, and I will be traveling to parts of Canada where I don't know if I will have a solid enough connection, and I definitely would not have this, chill sort of vibe or this microphone. I'm bringing some other mics with me on the road, so anyway, I will, I'll see you soon. You take care. Bye.